Okay, general sequences and series. I'm finding this one in some ways a lot easier than the last couple of lessons. It's really the same idea, but just presented slightly differently. Okay, so on example 1, we're to write the first 5 terms of the sequence with the following general terms starting with A1. So the first 5 terms starting with A1, A equals 1. A of 1 is negative 4 times 1 plus 1. Looks like that's going to be negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. A equals 2. A of 2 equals negative 4 times 2 plus 1. Negative 8 plus 1 equals negative 7. You can tell that these are just going down by 4, starting with the first value. So the first 5 terms, I'm going to stop calculating. The first 5 terms are negative 3, negative 7, go down by 4, negative 11, go down by another 4, negative 15, and go down by one last 4, negative 19. There's the first 5. So whenever you see a multiplier like that, just figure out where you're starting, and then you're just going down or up by that amount. I'm showing B because it is this easy. It says to write the first 5 terms with a sub n equaling n, so that means a sub 1 equals 1, a sub 2 equals 2, and so on. So our first 5 terms is just that. Okay, on to example 2. These are these involve exponents, and so I'm showing you some similar examples here. Again, we'll write in the first 5 terms starting with A1. A1 is going to be 4 to the negative 1. So wherever I have an n in the pattern, I'm putting in that number, and I'm going to put this in as positive 1/4. A2 is 4 to the negative 2. That's going to be 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 16. So basically, my 4 is in the denominator, and the exponent's going up by 1. So I get 1 over 4, 1 over 16. 4 to the 3rd power is 64. 4 to the 4th power is 256. And 4 to the 5th power is 1024. So you'll just type in those 5 fractions. This one's a little bit different, but again, you'll see the pattern after we do a couple of them. A the 1 is negative 2 to the 1 power, which is negative 2. A squared is negative 2 to the 2nd power, so negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. A3 is going to be negative 2 to the 3rd power. So our odd exponents are giving us negative results. Our even exponents are giving us even results. We're still taking 2 to that power, so we get negative 8. So I'm going to continue the pattern. Negative 2, 4, negative 8. We're going to double that. We're going to get a positive 16. We'll double that, and we'll get a negative 32. You could keep plugging into the pattern, but once I understand the pattern, I stop doing my substitution. All right, really the same idea, just a little more complicated examples. Just plugging in, we get 1 squared times 3 to the negative 1. 1 squared is 1, the 3 will go to the denominator, so I get 1/3. So 2 gets squared times 3 to the negative 2. That gives me 4 over 3 squared, 4/9. All right, this one gets kind of interesting. 3 squared is in the numerator, 3 to the 3rd is in the denominator, and that 9 goes into 27 3 times. That'll reduce. So that gives me 16 over 3 to the 4th, which I would prefer to calculate these out. 3 to the 4th is 81. And last one. 25 in the numerator and 3 to the 5th in the denominator. 3 to the 5th is 343. All right, so my first term is 1/3, second term is 4/9, third term is also 1/3, and the fourth term is 16 over 81. Last term is 25 over 343. All right, similarly, either one is -1 to the 1 plus 2 times 2 times 1 minus 3 over 2 times 1 plus 3. All right, we get -1 to the 3rd power. That's just going to be a -1 times 2 minus 3 over 2 plus 3. All right, -1 times -1 over 5 gives me 1/5. All right, let's see what a to the 2 looks like. -1 to the 2 plus 2, which is 4, times 2 times 2 minus 3. Okay. All right, -1 to the 4th just gives me a positive 1. So a2 is just simplifying 4 minus 3, which is 1, over 4 plus 3, which is 7. All right, e to the 3rd, -1 to the 5th power times 2 times 3 minus 3, 2 times 3 plus 3, and -1 to the 5th power gives me a negative. That's going to give me a negative. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 3 is 3, 6 plus 3 is 9, -1/3. So I get, for this pattern, I'll get a, what did I get for my first one? 1/5. And a 2 that turned into 1/7. Now I'm going to see my sign switch. That'll give me -1/3. And my fourth term is going to be 5 over 11. And my last term is -7 over 13. Just plug them in and calculate. And that's enough for this video.